Welcome back to Anything and Everything. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Eva.
She has blessed me by coming into the kitchen today. We are going to make a chicken wonton soup. We'll let you know how we do this. Now, this is it's going to be pretty raw footage. I do have all of the ingredients here, but you will see my mom will tell me, no, don't add that, or add something different. But I hope you like this recipe, and I hope you try it out. So the first thing I want to do is make a broth, and I'm going to make it with some chicken legs. So I have a pot of water boiling already. I'm going to add these chicken legs to it. I'm going to add in a few aromas here. Mom, can you slice me some of this ginger so I can just put it inside? I'm going to add half of an onion. I'm going to put in quite a few shiitake mushrooms, and then we're going to fish them out at the end. I have 2 bay leaves and about 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to put it all in here with the chicken. You can put it with the skin, Mom.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just going to go in here to make a flavor for the soup. I'm going to put in some salt and, of course, some dashi powder. We are going to let that boil until the chicken is cooked and we can shred it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is make our wontons. Now, we are just using, you can get these wonton wrappers at any store. You will see we've made gyoza before on the channel. Go back and look at that. Any wrappers will do. We just so happen to have this one today, so we're going to make some wontons. We have some ground chicken. That's what I'm going to use to fill the wontons. And we have some shrimp. We're going to go ahead and cut up all of the shrimp into small pieces and mix it in with this chicken. And it depends on if you like to have a big piece of shrimp when you bite into your wonton or a small piece of shrimp. We like to know that it's shrimp, so we're going to cut them pretty big here. Well, not too big, but I'm going to save these tails right here because I'm going to throw it into the broth also. So I'm going to use the other piece of ginger that my mom was working with, and I'm just going to grate it, and I'm going to put it inside of the chicken and shrimp stuffing. So flu season is coming up, so this would be a good little change up from your chicken noodle soup. I know that we love soup here. My mom and I like to make lots of soups. So it's a good way to change up. If you have a house full of kids, family members who are sick, try this recipe. It has all of the benefits of chicken soup. It has some ginger and lots of garlic. So I started grating the garlic, but I got a little bit afraid because I didn't want to cut my fingers on this thing. So now I'm just going to, now that the pieces are smaller, I'm just going to chop it up like this. Put your grated garlic in there. Now you can use any type of protein you want. We just so happen are using ground chicken, but you can use pork, ground beef, whatever you want to make your wonton with. You don't have to put the shrimp in it. You could just make it all pork. I'm going to take the little shrimp tails and put it inside of the broth. All right, you guys, the chicken is boiling. I'm going to put it down to a little bit lower simmer. And we are going to mix up our filling here. Okay, this is where my mom and I will disagree a little bit. Okay, you want to put dashi powder in it?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, I used about a teaspoon. Salt?
Yeah, salt little bit of because
I used about a half a teaspoon. Pepper?
yeah.
So I used about a teaspoon of pepper, all right? Now, put a little sesame oil. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon. Yeah?
With the garlic.
I already put the garlic in there. Fish sauce. Yeah. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon. Mirin.
Yeah,
A little bit of any kind of wine. I know they have like a Chinese wine. This is just a Japanese wine that we have. And I'll put about a tablespoon. How about some hoisin sauce?
no, just.
How about some, no hoisin sauce? How about some, I have some, if not hoisin sauce, I have some oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce okay because this soup you have to boil that tasty, you know.
How about some
Yeah, there is some.
This is soy sauce. We're using this Maggi brand. We've been into it lately. When we cook, we use this. It doesn't seem to be as salty as the soy sauce. So I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna put in about a tablespoon. It has a really good umami flavor, so try it if you have not yet. Okay, let me put a little bit of sugar. And a little bit of cornstarch. I'm gonna put in, so it will stick together. I'm gonna put in a teaspoon. Oh, I think more, huh? More? We'll put in an egg. Okay, I gave you a chopstick, just stir it, mix it around in there. I'm gonna look and see if I have oyster sauce. I don't have oyster sauce, I only have hoisin sauce. I'm gonna chop up some of these green onions to put in it.
Yeah.
These are garlic chives. You can use green onions, you can use a red onion, a white onion. You just want it to be very small in size. Do you want some cilantro in it?
No.
Nah, she's good. All right, once you're done mixing that all up, get your wontons out. Now, I have me and my mom here. We're pretty fast, so I don't think that our wontons will dry out. I don't think, but I hope my wonton wrappers don't dry out. So this is how they come. And they look like that, and they just peel apart from each other. So I'm gonna get these right here in the middle. And we're just going to start rolling them. Now, there's many ways that you can roll them. I've seen it done so many ways. I'm not gonna be too fancy with it. I'm just gonna get it done. So you can get some water and just put it around your edges. Put a little bit of your filling, put a little bit of your filling in there, and you just want to get all of your edges together. I like it to look like a little sack, one of those little purses. So that's what mine looks like. It's just like a little money sack. Now there's all kinds of ways to make it. I just like it this way. So today is the Angel Game. Who are they playing?
Same,
I think it starts at 5 o'clock today.
same people all day. Not tomorrow off.
Yeah.
So the fatty, I think large, I don't know. Large.
Large? What's large?
Large place.
Dodgers?
Yeah.
You think so? Mom, this is how I do it. Look, I put it in half, and then I just go like this. Squeeze it together like that. Now, this is going to make quite a bit, and you might not use it all for a soup, so freeze them. Just freeze them, because when you're sick and you want a little bit of a hot soup, nobody's got time to stand here and make these. So go ahead and freeze them, and then you'll have them so when you want to make a soup. Now, if you're sick, like if I'm sick and I don't have a broth for me to use, I will just use some chicken broth from the, the pre-made chicken broth, and add some of my veggies and things to it. I'm going to show you, this time I didn't put any water in it, but it will still close because these things are pretty sticky. It'll still close, but you risk the chance of it opening, but it still closes. So back to go ahead and freeze them, and once you freeze them, you can use them for any which way. Like you can fry them, just put them in some oil and fry them. You can just take them out and just steam them and eat them with a little chili sauce. Take them out, put them in your air fryer. In Japan, I know they make gyoza, but do they make soup with it, Mom? No?
Well, now I don't know.
But back then, no, huh? Yeah, there are a lot of times that like our friends or some of our subscribers will say, hey, can you make this? And it's not something that we may make, because a lot of our dishes are that we've learned from my mom are dishes that she learned from her mom. So that was back then. But I do know now that they have a lot more, they've merged and fused with other cultures, so they might make a wonton soup, a Japanese wonton soup. I'm not sure if they do or not. But I know that when shabu shabu came out, I asked my mom, hey, you want to go have shabu shabu? And she said, what is that? Like, she didn't even know, and it's supposed to be a Japanese, hot pot kind of thing. So there are just some things that before my mom came to the United States, they weren't doing in Okinawa. So she isn't familiar with it. You think so? She thinks it started here in the United States, but I think they have it in Japan.
Chinese, yeah, now Chinese, Koreans, mix, used to know Chinese, Korean, know food, Japan. Now the international.
International?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the cook difference,
Yeah, I know that they fuse a lot of things together. We do the same thing, here in this house. We like certain Korean foods, Vietnamese foods, Chinese foods, a lot of different Asian foods, and we just fuse it into, mix it with one of our foods. So, we like to take other cultures and then make it our own. So obviously, we did not grow up eating wonton soup. We just fried the wontons and made gyoza.
Noodle soup.
Yeah, we ate a lot of noodle soup, but not wonton soup. But we've gone to restaurants, and my mom and I are always like, oh, we can make that, let's make that, let's do it like this, and we just kind of make it our own. So the broth, it's a take between a chicken noodle soup and an Asian, so it's pretty fusion.
Yeah, we got a chicken soup.
Yeah. What, Japanese or us?
No, the I don't know Japanese, but my home,
Oh, yeah. In Okinawa, you guys ate a lot of soup, though. You guys liked soup, right?
yeah, pork soup, pork meat, backbone, gobos, seaweeds. Yeah, now the Japanese do that.
I think you made a video of that soup one time on here. We like soup up in here, any kind of soup. And we change it up, just like this wonton soup. But my daughter's sick, and she has a little cold, so I thought let me make her some soup and make a video with it. My mom was willing to help me roll these, so I thought, okay, that'll be perfect. But this is a good soup to make during the flu season, guys. You know, the garlic, the ginger, those have some benefits to help build your immunity. The hot broth is good. Chicken broth, because it's coming off of the bone. Bone broth is always good. We're going to put in a lot of vegetables, so you're going to get a lot of vitamins with that. And, you know, the soup itself helps with hydration. So a lot of times when you have a cold or the flu or something, people get worse because of dehydration. So eating something, some soups is pretty good, you know? Helps you out. So I know that a lot of times this wonton soup is served with a noodle, like some kind of a noodle. And you can do that too. You know, use your favorite noodle, put it in your bowl, and then serve the broth over it. But I am going to use a lot of vegetables in there. We like a lot of green vegetables in our soup. So I'm going to use a lot of that. And the wonton wrapper itself is carbs, so we're trying to, you know, not eat so many carbs. That's the reason why we're using chicken versus pork or ground beef. We're trying to stay more with the leaner meats. So we won't be using any noodle. We'll just be eating a lot of wontons probably. And I am going to start working on some of these veggies here. So I have a pot of water here steaming, and I'm going to steam these vegetables in there. I've got a bunch of different types of vegetables. It was actually just what I had in the refrigerator. So I have some baby bok choy. I have the other form of bok choy. It's got more of a white little edge. And then I have some Chinese broccoli. So cut it up the way you like it. I'm just going to take the Chinese broccoli and I'm just going to cut it down the middle a little bit, just because it's a thick little stem. And I'm going to put all of this together to cook at one time. We like our bok choy big like this, so I'm going to leave it large. I'm going to just leave it like that and boil it. Now, if you want your soup to be a little bit neater, you don't want your vegetables to be bigger than your wonton, then by all means, you can chop them smaller. This Chinese bok choy is good just stir frying it with some olive oil and garlic. It's really good that way. Maybe we make a video sometime with that. But I'm going to put it in our soup today. I like to just set it in the pot with the stalk part down, just so that that gets cooked and we don't end up with soggy top greens. Okay, so I have the greens in this pot. I'm just going to steam them until the bottom of it gets a little bit softer. Put the top on it. Just let it steam. So my mom is cutting up some green onions. This is what you can top your soup with. We have green onions, cilantro, and some sliced carrots. Okay, my vegetables are finished. I drained them in a colander, and I just kind of, separated it just in case. Some like some bok choys and some don't. Now remember, you can use whatever type of vegetable you want. Use regular broccoli if that's what your family likes. Bigger pieces of carrot. Anything you like, a green bean, anything you want. Napa cabbage is good. Plain cabbage if you like it. So what I'm going to do is just drizzle this with a little bit of sesame oil and just set it aside until we're ready to serve. Okay, so this broth has been simmering here for about 2 hours. So let's start pulling out our chicken. I'm gonna fish out the mushrooms. That was a mess. I'm going to take out all of the other things that are all of the aromatics. There's some chicken pieces in there that I'll sift through and get those out. Now, if you like your broth to be very clear, then you can sift, put this through a colander to get out all of the really small fine pieces, but this is just for my family, so I'm not too concerned about it. I know my mom will say that traditional broth should be very clear, free of any debris, but I'm good. Now what you want to do is now just taste it for some flavor. If you need more salt, what's going on in here. So it's pretty good, but I'm going to add some dashi powder to it. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, some pepper. I'm going to add in some fish sauce. Now it's all for flavor, so make sure you taste it along the way just to make sure that you're not making it too salty. And I like it. Okay, now that you've taken everything out of your pot, I'm going to take the mushrooms that I pulled out and I'm just going to slice them. Now I use dried mushrooms. You can, if you don't want to use the dried mushroom for your broth, you can buy some really nice mushrooms, any kind you like. Shiitake fresh mushrooms are good. You don't really even need to steam them or anything. You can just slice them pretty thin and serve it on top of your soup. But I just decided that since I'm going to make the broth with it, then we can use that for a topping also. All right, so I've got those all sliced up. Now we're going to take our chicken, and I am just going to, remove the skin because I don't want the skin, but I'm just going to shred the chicken. Not actually shred, just, take them big pieces. You can shred it if you want. keep doing it until you've got all your chicken pieces. Okay, let me show you how we serve it up. We're gonna take some of our greens here, put it in the bowl. I'm fixing this for my husband, and he likes all the greens, so I'm gonna put a little bit of everything there for him. He loves mushrooms, so let's give him a heaping little pot full of mushrooms. Chicken is a must. Let's put in a few carrots. Green onions on the bottom. And that's what it looks like right now. So you have your broth boiling here. Get yourself some of your dumplings or your wontons. This is called wonton soup. So let them get down into this broth here. Now you can put all of your dumplings in there or your wontons in there at one time if you'd like, but because my family eats at different times, I just do it when they're ready to eat. It should take about 5 to 7 minutes for that to cook. You can see how it looks so far. And you want the broth to be pretty hot so that it will cook it quickly. Now, if you don't trust yourself, just take one of them out, cut it, and see if it's ready. But what you can also do is touch it. Remember, the meat was pretty wet, and if you are touching it and it's pretty solid, you're good to go. So there you go. There's your wonton soup. I'm going to put a couple of green onions on the top. A few cilantro pieces. I'll put the lime right here. He can squeeze it. And don't forget to put your favorite hot sauce. We'll use sriracha. And there you go. Okay, Mom, go ahead and try your soup.
Soup good.
The soup good? The broth is good? How's the wonton?
Well done.
Is it good? Okay. Thanks for stopping by, anything and everything, and we will see you the next time. Go try the soup.